Hey guys,
Hello.
welcome back to the Laker family, where we're going to get right into the last game the Lakers played versus the Heat. There were mostly a lot of great points that we're going to talk about, and just a few flaws that I feel like we need to work on moving forward. Okay, first of all, I want to give kudos to the coaching staff because this is miles and miles ahead of what the last regime was doing. It's like night and day. Frank Vogel and his coaching staffs, y'all get a A+ thus far. I love everything about what he's doing, his defense that he's preaching, his timely substitutions, pulling guys that's not as productive, just knowing when to do this and do that. I give him a A+ thus far on that. So great job, Frank Vogel. Now, that game that we played versus the Heat, it was a very kind of nip and tuck game for a little while, up until the halftime point, and because they were trying to do things to rattle us offensively. And that just goes to show you what type of talent we have on this team, because they went to a zone versus us. A lot of teams don't do that. That is a big no-no, especially in today's game. With the three-point shooting being so prevalent, a lot of teams likes to stay away from zone as much as they can. But for the Heat to try to just go for broke on something, to try to see if they can confuse our guys, lets you know how much talent we have, especially inside the paint. It's, with LeBron, Anthony Davis, and our big guys, how easily we can score inside. They had kind of like no choice. With that being said, if another team decides to do that to us, we have to be ready to eat from the outside as well. Our shooters have to be ready to eat. Green, Daniels, Quinn Cook, all those guys. Y'all have to light that zone up the next time somebody tries that against us, and to keep them out of that zone. But the second half, we did adjust to it, and we just started picking them apart. We were just methodically, passing the ball back and forth until we got a good open look down low. And it paid off a lot of times, and that's when our lead started expanding there. Let's see. The Heat are kind of known for their defense a little bit this year, so we kind of struggled a little bit as far as scoring early on. They were doing a good job, kind of keeping us from just going berserk. So I give credit to them on that. But our defense was just that much better. We have like a top of the line defense this year, and I almost want to say our defense is even better than our offense at this point, until we kind of work out the rest of the kinks offensively. Our defense is what's carrying us through these games, and that's very big for us. I'm glad that, because you can always hang your hat on defense to win you games, even if your field goal percentage is not where you need it to be. And that's very big for us, because we have a lot of guys on this team at this time that has still yet to find a groove offensively. And it's mainly the bench players. Kuzma, that he looked terrible. He looked terrible the first half. Don't worry about it. But I was saying before that Frank Vogel needs to go through the little bumps in the road with Kuzma until he kind of gets back to form. And it paid off the last game versus the Bulls, but this game, Kuzma was just looking like beyond terrible. That's fine, because we're still winning, but it's still going to take Kuzma like maybe 5, 6, 7 more games to kind of just get those legs going again. it's just I don't want it to be like too detrimental to us, like causing us losses. You know what I mean? Like we're so focused on trying to get Kuzma back to his regular rhythm, where it might cost us a loss here or there. So I mean, Frank Vogel, I feel like he's doing a good job as far as juggling that time with Kuzma. Letting him kind of make his mistakes to try to get his flow back, his feel for the game back. But pull him in crucial situations, like when the game is getting a little too tight. Kuzma still hadn't found it yet. Okay, I got to pull you, Kuz. We'll get you back flowing the next game. Something like that. I don't know. But I'm not too worried about Kuzma. He will get back. The bench has still not been picking it up like we need them to. Guys are kind of like all over the place. You might get one guy that might shine off the bench here. The next night it might be one guy. It's not a collective effort from the bench yet. We haven't had like a total game yet from the bench. And it's like our starters are kind of having to carry us a lot. The good thing is, and the scary thing is that we're still winning, even though we haven't solved these issues. The bench, it will come along. We have guys, veteran guys like Quinn Cook, Dudley. Caruso has probably been the most consistent this far. He hasn't been great, but he's been the most consistent. Him and Dwight Howard and Caruso has been the two most consistent players off the bench. So we're waiting on it, and it's coming. But when it does, look out. We're already like a #1 team in the league right now. So just imagine when we're holding teams to 80 points like we just did the Heat, on top of our bench gelling. And so some of the telltale signs were in the team stats as far as like 30 assists. That's letting me know that our team chemistry is getting better. It's getting better by the minute. You know what I'm saying? From the first game of the season to now, it's great. It's like a great progression from the first game into now. The rebounds, we own them on the rebounds, 48 to 37. You know what that lets me know? That lets me know that our guys are much bigger and physical down low than any of the guys that they have. And that's been kind of the theme all year that we've been hanging our hat on. Our guys are just taller than y'all. And we're going to get more blocks than y'all. We're going to get more rebounds. And we're just going to be more physical than y'all down low. And that's helping us out big time. The negative stat that I saw, team stat I saw was 18 turnovers. That is putting us in a bind. Even though we're a great team and we kind of can, we kind of tend to overcome these things. Habits like that will come back to bite us in the long run. So we got to start trying to correct those things now. 18 turnovers is unacceptable against any team. And the last kind of little nitpick I wanted to talk about was the 3-pointers. We got to start knocking those down. 25% shooting from 3-point range. That's not helping out LeBron. That's not helping out Anthony Davis. That's not helping out none of our bigs. Our outside perimeter guys, y'all have to start knocking these threes in. We're still scoring over 100 points, but just imagine y'all start knocking those 3-point shots in. We're gonna be deadly. So let's get back in the gym, and I don't know, whatever y'all got to do. We need them threes to start falling. We have the snipers that we need. They're just not falling at the moment. Let's see. I mean, like I said, man, our defense is what we're hanging our hat on. We held them to 35% shooting from the field, 80 points. That's big time. Big time. So with that being said, let's just keep continuing to work on those little flaws. And I have no doubt that, we're going to keep this winning streak going. We have the Raptors next. Come on, Grace, don't interrupt me now. The Raptors are going to be missing Kyle Lowry and most likely Serge Ibaka. So we got to take advantage of that. We got to take advantage of that next game. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the stats from JB.
Anthony Davis, 26 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 blocks, 2 steals. LeBron James, 25 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. McGee, 9 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 1 steal. Bradley, 9 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Green, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Kuzma, 7 points, 5 rebounds. Daniels, 3 points. Howard, 2 points, 6 rebounds. Cook, 2 points. Alex, 6 points, 4 assists. And Pope, 2 points.
Okay, good job. Like I said, like he just read off from those stats, the bench players, 1 point here, 2 point there. That's not gonna get it. That's not gonna cut it. We got to do much better than that. So let's go straight to the Oracle. She's gonna tell us her favorite highlight. And
Hello. The highlight of the game for me was the give and go dunk by LeBron from Alex early in the second quarter.
Yeah, that was a great highlight there.
I predict a blowout victory by the Lakers against the Raptors tomorrow. Go Lakers!
Go Lakers! That's what I'm talking about. Hey, and the Oracle, she's been right on point so far. She said we was gonna score over 100 points versus the Spurs the other game, and we were gonna win. And she was correct. She hit the nail on the head with that one. And so Disha's gonna get right into the next schedule.
Congrats to the Lakers on a magnificent win against the Heat. The Lakers have a home game this Sunday versus the Toronto Raptors at 8:30 Central Time. Players currently injured are Rajon Rondo, Taylor Tucker, and DeMarcus Cousins.
All right, go Lakers.
Go Lakers! Woo!
All right, thank y'all guys for watching. We enjoy y'all just as much as y'all enjoying our video. And as always, if y'all want to join the Laker family, like, share, and subscribe. See y'all next time.
I got muscle like Superman trainer. Real